I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine.
Sing along.
I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. I'm going deep to know the divine. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. I'm rising up to know the divine. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already there in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Kate Turner, and I'm very happy to be the platform assistant today. Our trustee for the day is Marty Mahalko, right there. And if you have any questions about our center, Marty would be more than happy to speak with you after the service. And if you are new to our center, I would like to extend a special welcome to you. And we have a special packet that Marty can give to you if you raise your hand. Do we have any new visitors today? All right, great. And we'd like to welcome all new visitors with a hearty round of applause. And today we are blessed to have Reverend Ron Fox as our guest speaker. If you were here last week, you heard his inspiring talk on living a spiritual life. And today Ron will be speaking about gratitude as a spiritual practice. So let's give Reverend Ron Fox a unity welcome. And we are also blessed to have our talented music team today, Betsy Joe and Peter, and introducing Tom Ciro on bass.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom. Tom. Okay. And please remember to silence your cell phones. But before you do, if you are on Facebook, please go ahead and check in and let them know, your friends know where you are and how much fun you're having here. And the important thing to start off with in our service is acknowledging our beautiful Christ candle. And we like to do that. It is a symbol of the Christ consciousness within each and every person on our planet. And we have a special Christ candle affirmation that we will say, and I'll say it once, and then we can say it all together. May the blessing of the grace and good of the divine Christ be upon me and you and our world today. And so together, may the blessing of the grace of Christ, grace and good be upon you and our world today. And so it is. And now please stand and join our music team for the Joy Song.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I'm here to show all the love you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. You're here to remind us of my magnificence, to help me awake to all the wonder that I am. You long to show me all the joy I'm worthy of. You're here to remind me how much I truly love. We're here to remind us of our magnificence, to help us awake to all the wonders that we are. We long to show you all the joy we're worthy of. We're here to remind us how much we truly love. We're here to remind us how much we truly love.
And now let's take a brief moment and greet our neighbors.
It's so funny. Every time I've spoken here, I've noticed this side is full, this side a little bit, and that side's practically empty.
I wonder what that's about.
I don't know. I'm going to mention it.
Maybe the window?
Huh?
Maybe the window.
Maybe. Well, the door is more towards the right.
All right. Oop. That was really fun. All right, so what is happening at our Unity Spiritual Center? Well, this Thursday, Thanksgiving, we're going to be having, for those who could come, Thanksgiving dinner. And Bonnie and Glenn are generously supplying turkey and ham. And if you would like to come, you can bring family and friends. It'll be from 3 o'clock to 5:30. And there's a sign-up sheet in the lobby, and you can come even if you don't sign up, but it's helpful if you do. And you can bring a side dish, and you can put that on the list as well. And there's also a list for if people would like to help with cleanup at the end of the evening. It should be a really fun event. There'll be lots of food and beverages and all that kind of thing. So please feel free to come. 3 o'clock to 5:30. There's an event at 6 p.m., so everything will need to be put away around 5:30. And then also, just so you know, we do have a food donation receptacle over by the Zendan in the welcome lobby. So if you'd like to bring donations to go to the food bank, please feel free to bring those in. And then also, next month is a really fun month here at Unity. We have all kinds of fun, special Christmas Advent services. And there's a list on your program with all the dates and the different events. And there's the Christmas candlelight service. There's a service for remembrance of loved ones during the holidays, and then the New Year's celebration. So please check the program and mark your calendar. And let's see. Okay, so now is the time where we affirm the trustees' values, vision, and mission affirmation. So let's take a moment and anoint the consciousness of our ministry and community with our values, vision, and mission. At Unity Spiritual Center of Vero Beach, we value faith, love, integrity, unity, peace, prosperity, service, and joy. Our vision is a world collaborating in love and unity to co-create the blessings of peace and prosperity for all. Our mission is loving, teaching, and inspiring people to be all we are divinely created to be. And now I would like to invite our prayer chaplain, Jeannie Hunkapiller, up to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. I am so grateful to be here with you today, to see those beautiful smiles and feel that energy. So I want to thank you for sharing your day with all of us. And I know that I am grateful, but I am Jeannie Hunkapiller, and I would like to introduce my prayer partner, Charlotte Hadley. The two of us feel very blessed and very honored to be here to serve you as your prayer chaplain and to be with you. Later this morning, we will be in the prayer chapel to serve anyone one-on-one if you're needing a prayer request. Already, the prayer box has been blessed. All the prayers within have been blessed and returned to the welcome foyer. So it is waiting for any written request. All prayers are held in confidence, total confidence, and will be prayed over by the prayer chaplains and ministry for the next 30 days. There went the mind for a second. Anyway, together, let's now read the daily word. We first open our minds and open our hearts to receive the daily word. And the word for today is protected. I rest securely, knowing I am divinely protected. Protection is more than physical safety. It is the deep assurance that no harm can befall me at the level of spirit. I am guided and sustained by the infinite intelligence and love of spirit. This protection is not fear-based, but faith-based. A deep understanding that no matter what happens in the outer world, the Christ presence within me is an enduring spiritual protection. This awareness helps me to put the news of the world in proper perspective. As I align my thoughts and feelings with spiritual truth, I feel safe. Affirming divine protection allows me to live boldly, knowing that I am not alone. I believe in the prayer for protection, which assures me that I am surrounded, enfolded, and protected by the presence and power of God. And the sacred text today is, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." That is Psalm 91, verse 11. So together, let's repeat the affirmation for the day. I rest securely, knowing I am divinely protected, and thus it is. Amen.
Amen.
And just a reminder that Charlotte and I will be in the prayer chapel if anyone feels the need for one-on-one prayer. Thank you.
We're going to share a song. It's called Thank You. So there's going to be a lot of thank yous. Open your heart. Every time we say thank you, open your heart a little bit more. And what's that Meister Eckhart saying, Peter?
The only prayer you say in your entire life is thank you. This will suffice. That song was written by our former music partner, Susie Parker, who might be able to hopefully see it on her screen.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you. I want to thank you, God,
Thank you, God,
for blessing me.
For
Every day I
blessing
am
me.
thankful and grateful for my
for
life.
my life.
With every breath I
With
take,
every breath,
with every step I
with
take, I'm one
every
with you and I'm free. Thank you, thank you,
thank you.
thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you. I feel Christ's
I
energy
feel Christ
flowing in
energy
and out of
flowing
me.
in and
Each day
out
I
of
wake
me.
up with thankfulness on my
On
mind.
my mind.
With everything you do, hey, strive the light into
shine
a
a
world that is good and kind. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you. I want to thank you,
I want to
God,
thank you, God,
for blessing me.
for
Every day I
blessing
am
me.
thankful and grateful for my
for
life.
my life.
With every breath
With every breath,
with every step I
with
take,
every
I'm one with
step.
you and I'm free. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank
Thank you.
What a perfect introduction to my talk. Thank you. So before I begin, I just have to tell you this story because when I heard the announcements, it just reminded me of it. So Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. And when Becky and I met, we lived in Southern California, and I have 2 sons and a daughter, and they lived in Southern California. And so we used to do a big Thanksgiving because my son would have his wife come over and my daughter would have her husband. And anyway, so we do a big Thanksgiving. And then one year we moved to Arizona. And when Thanksgiving came, I started to feel really depressed because I said to Beth, and I mean, I really love Becky, but I said, it's just going to be me and you. And and I didn't actually mean it like that, but I got the idea to do what you guys are doing, except we did it a little differently. We said anybody that didn't have anything to do for Thanksgiving was welcome to come to our home. And so we did that for a couple of years, and it worked great. And then one year, this is the reason I'm telling you the story, one of the women came up to me and she said, hey, Rev, do you mind before you sit down for the meal this year at Thanksgiving, would you do a wedding service? And I said, you know, it's really a pretty busy time. And I said, if you really want me to, yeah, I will. And I said, could you just at least tell me why you need it to be that day? And she said, oh, absolutely. She said, because last year at your Thanksgiving dinner, that's when we met. And so we thought it would be a great thing to do to get married this year at your, yeah, wouldn't that sweet? So the title of my talk is Gratitude as a Spiritual Practice. And I intended to open it with two quotes, which I'm still going to do. One of them you may have heard recently. It's from the Christian mystic Meister Eckhart, who said, if the only prayer you ever say is thank you, that would be enough. Now, I don't quite feel thankful that you beat me to it, but I don't sing, and I don't know why you guys. And the other quote I wanted to begin with was from Lao Tzu, who said, "Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you." So Mike Robbins is a writer, and he tells a story about one day taking a cab to the airport, and he realized right away that the cab driver wasn't from the U.S., and so he asked him, he said, hey, where are you from? And the fella said, I'm from Ethiopia. And he said, I've been here 20 years, and I'm really proud. My two sons, my wife, and I, we're all citizens. And so Mike said to him, tell me, what's your perspective on American culture? And the fella said, you want me to tell you the truth? And Mike said, yeah, tell me. And he said, I think most Americans act like spoiled brats. And Mike said to him, why do you say that? And he said, sir, I come from Ethiopia. Every day here is a good day. And Mike said, isn't that a great reminder of the gifts that we have that so often we might overlook? You know, Eric Butterworth wrote, being grateful is a way of life. Being grateful isn't a reactionary emotion, it's a causative energy. And so what he was saying was we don't have to be grateful necessarily for when people give us a compliment or a gift or something. That's okay, you can be grateful. But he said really living the spiritual life, that gratitude, when we live from a place of gratitude, it causes more gratitude to come into our life and more joy and more of anything we want. You know, when Jesus multiplied the loaves and fishes, do you know how he began? He began by giving a prayer of thanks. Now, he wasn't giving thanks for the little bit of food they had. What he was doing, he was giving thanks from a consciousness of gratitude because he knew there's always enough. He was looking beyond appearances and getting himself into the divine flow. And I want to give you another example of that, more from my own life. So last week I mentioned to you, and I'm sure if I asked you, you'd remember what year. I graduated from the School of Ministry in 1998. I know you all remember that. And there were 4 of us. And I got to be very close to one of the other people that I was graduating with. Her name is Carrie Masters. And Carrie's husband was a long-haul truck driver. And she called me up one day, and it was around Christmas time. I think it was right before Christmas. And she was crying. And I don't remember her husband's name, but she said, Ron, he was on the road, and he was training somebody. And he said to the trainee, I'm really kind of tired. You take the wheel. I'm going to go in the back of the cab and go to sleep. And when the trainee went to wake him up, he was dead. And Carrie, you could imagine, was devastated. And so the next day I took off from work and I went and I spent it with her, and we cried together and held each other. And we spent the day together. And about a month or so after, I went to her. I used to call her karaoke. And I said, hey, karaoke, tell me, what got you through? Because she was devastated. She was going to quit school. And she said, let me tell you what got me through. She said, I decided to make a gratitude list. And every night, for 1 week, she said, and every night before I went to sleep, I wrote down 5 things I was grateful for. And at the 7th day, I realized I still had 35 things that I could be grateful for, and that's what got me through. Ernest Holmes, who was I'm a CSL minister, who was the founder of CSL, wrote, an attitude of gratitude is most salutary and bespeaks the realization that we are now in heaven. So there are so many things that we can be grateful for. Norm Bouchard was the late Norm Bouchard, a CSL minister, and he wrote a book, 29 Questions for the Ordinary Life. And one of his questions was, how can I show gratitude in my life? And he said his mom, anytime she felt grateful, wrote a note, a thank you note to people. And she used to tell him when he was young, she said, always be grateful for what you have, you know? And we have so many opportunities. When I was preparing this, I started to think of some, you know, and not all that long ago, I was trying to bleed into traffic, and the traffic was really heavy. And Becky said to me, somebody's going to let us in. And finally, somebody did, you know, and you feel gratitude that somebody was willing to do that. And I thought, this happened years ago. Becky and I were in line at Publix. We were in a checkout line, and I very casually leaned over and said to her, I forgot my wallet. And she casually leaned back and said, I don't have my purse. And we thought we were whispering, but the person in front of us, a woman, heard us, and she said, don't worry, I got your groceries. Now, it wasn't a week's worth, but it was about $25 or $30 worth of groceries for somebody she'd never seen before and probably was never going to see again. And I thought about one of my sons. We used to live in San Clemente, California, who got himself in all kinds of trouble. And the canine officer in San Clemente decided he would take my son under his wings. And he used to come over and visit and sit and talk to my son. And one time I told him, damn, the kid's really giving me a hard time. And he said to my son, he brought a book. He said, here's a book for you to read. And next week at this time, I expect a book report. And if you don't do the book report, you're going to wash every one of our cars that are by the station. But he showed him so much love. So I called up his captain, and I told his captain, and his captain wound up writing him up, and I guess they have a sheriff's newsletter, and just broadcasting it to all the sheriffs in our county what Mike did for one couple's son and how much they appreciated it. And of course, the other person that I always feel grateful for is my wife there, who loves me no matter, just for who I am. And let me just tell you something else Butterworth said. He said the most important asset we have is the conscious control of our life. And in one of his books, I think it was Spiritual Economics, he gives an example of a person who was told that he had an incurable disease and 6 months to live. And he goes to work the next day, and he tells the people at work, and one of them says to him, "What are you going to do?" And he said, "I'll do what I have always done, live with a grateful heart, one day at a time." And Butterfield wrote, it's 10 years later, and he's still going strong. And maybe part of that is because of the healing influence of living with gratitude in your heart, and because giving thanks keeps us in such a wonderful and joyful place. I'm sure you've all heard of Wayne Dyer, and Wayne Dyer said that gratitude is an inside process, an attitude of thankfulness, a way of experiencing love without judgment. And so I want to talk to you about three obstacles to living with gratitude. And one of them is fault finding. We always have a chance between love finding and fault finding. And fault finding is when we see everything wrong. And I told Bonnie this morning that I was going to speak about her today. And so last week when Becky and I got here, Bonnie was dressed, I'm sure you'll all remember because she sure stuck out. She was dressed in her Kansas City outfit, the Kansas City football, the Chiefs outfit. And we started to talk. This before the service. We were talking a little bit about football. And I mentioned to her, one of the players on the Kansas City Chiefs is engaged to Taylor Swift. And I mentioned to her how amazed I was that here a couple is announcing that they're in love, which seemed to me to be a great thing, more love in the world, and how you can pick up article after article criticizing. And just the other day, I saw I didn't read the articles, I saw headlines criticizing Taylor. One was for the skirt she wore was too short, and the other one was her high heels were too big. And I thought to myself, what kind of life does somebody have to live to worry about how high somebody else's high heels are, huh? I mean, what does that take? And what's missing in that is just the focus of being loving and gratitude. Instead, they show criticism and judgment and anger, and we teach here, as we think, so shall it be. So if you spend your life thinking about how little you have, you bring more of how little you're going to get into your life, right? That's what we teach. And a second obstacle is complaining. When we complain, we feel shortchanged and deprived and isolated. We have a neighbor. God, I hope she doesn't see this. We have a neighbor, and Becky and I kind of laugh about it. Whenever we see her, as soon as you say hello, you get a litany of what she doesn't like, And I found out recently one of the things she doesn't like is us. So I feel we're in really good company. And a third thing would be complaining. When we complain, we always feel like we're shortchanged, like we don't have enough. And it really, in order to manifest our desires. We need to really be unconditional loving and bring that into our life and into our heart. And the writer Wayne Muller gives an example, and he talks about a fellow who is dying, and he's in the hospital, and he insists that he wants to walk outside one more time. And they don't want him to, so somehow he manages to get out of bed and walk out. And as soon as he does, he falls, and he's lying on his back, and the nurse comes running out to help him. And when she gets up to him, he looks up at her and he smiles, and he says, the sun feels so good on my face. And Wayne Muller wrote, here he is, in less than a week, he'll be dead, but today he has gratitude. And I remember when I read that, I thought, if somebody dying can have gratitude, who am I not to? Think about that. Think about that. So the Reverend Carl Gregg wrote about 2 ways to be grateful. And one of them is noticing. He said, what do you notice? Ask yourself, what do you notice today? What do you tend generally to notice in your life? And he said one way to get gratitude is to notice, what do you see? Where do you put your energy? What are you grateful for? And it made me, when Becky and I lived in Arizona, we had a dog, and his name was Sumo, and we named him Sumo because we knew he was going to be big. He was in Akita, and he was 90 pounds, and he was gorgeous. And one Saturday, I was taking him for a walk, his morning walk, and he was, you know how dogs are, like sniffing and smiling. He was like prancing. And I'm walking, I got the leash, but I'm thinking, I got to get back in there. I got to touch up my talk for tomorrow. We got a board meeting tomorrow. I got some things I really need to do. And I'm not there. I am not with him. You know, I'm just the leash holder. And all of a sudden, he did something that he almost never did because we trained him not to do it because he was so big. But he turned around and he jumped on me, put his paws up, and he just licked my face and then got down, and it hit me. He was saying, where are you? You know? And I got 2 things. I got to be in the present moment, which I should have been anyway, but I really started to feel grateful for the walk and for the stuff I saw. And there were neighbors out that I walked right past going up, but on the way back, I didn't. You know, it was just a moment. And the minister that I mentioned to you, Greg, he refers to Mary Oliver as the patron saint of noticing. And here's a piece of a poem that she wrote. She called it the poem of the one world. This morning, the beautiful white heron was floating along above the water and then into the sky, this one world we belong to, where everything, sooner or later, is part of everything else, which made me feel for a while quite beautiful myself. The second thing he said we can do is to savor. And he said, before going to bed, think of 5 things you're grateful for that day. You know, just like my friend Karaoke did. Think of 5 things that you're grateful for before going to bed. And isn't that a great way to nod off into sleep with the consciousness of being grateful and joyful for your day? You know, so when we look at our world and our country today, you know, there's a lot of people that are feeling confused, fear, and uncertain. But we have a lot we can still feel really grateful for. Just look around and think of the doctors and nurses that are there when we need them, the first responders, the grocery store clerks, that are there if it's a lousy day, raining or whatever. They're still there. The people that own restaurants that keep them open and to make our life a little bit. This week was Becky's birthday, and we went to a restaurant, and the servers made, it was a great meal, but the servers, the way they reached out, and several of them came over to wish her happy birthday, a place we'd never been before, and just made it a little nicer, and the blessings that most of us have, in this room. Sure, we all have shelter, we all have enough to eat, we all have enough medicine. We're all blessed in so many ways that we might take for granted. So when I was preparing this, and this happens every once in a while, at least to me it does, I think, all right, how am I going to close? And then I come upon two things that look really good, and I spend a day and a half thinking, which one will I use? Which one will I use? And then I think, the heck with it, I'm doing them both. So this is number one. This is a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, okay, one of the early New Thought people. He said, write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. He is so rich who owns the day, and no one owns the day who allows it to be invaded with fret and anxiety. Finish every day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdity have no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. Begin it well and serenely, with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense. This new day is too near, with its hopes and invitations to waste a moment on yesterdays. And the other thing I want to close with is a story. And it's a story about a traveler who's walking along in the desert, and he comes and sees an old man sitting outside a small home, smiling at a bunch of children who are playing. And he says to the old man, he says, what gives with you? How can you be so happy when you have so little? And the old man looks at him and says, you're looking at it with the wrong eyes. I don't measure my life by what I have. I measure it by what I appreciate. And when I realize how much there is to appreciate, suddenly I have everything. Just like Lao Tzu. And he said, in that moment, the traveler understood that gratitude doesn't change the world around us first. It changes the one who's looking at the world. And when the inner landscape shifts, it opens in ways that we could never imagine. So, as you go forward this week, let your gratitude become the lens through which you see your life. Let it lift you. Let it guide you and transform ordinary moments into extraordinary blessings. And remember, gratitude is not just something we feel. It's a doorway through which we walk into a greater, more radiantly life. So may your path be bright, your heart open, and your gratitude following. Thank you. God bless you. So now we're going to do a prayer, and then we're going to go into the meditation, okay? So, Infinite Spirit, source of all good, we pause in this moment to remember the abundance that flows through our lives. We give thanks for the breath that lifts us, the love that surrounds us, and the wisdom that guides us. As we open our hearts, gratitude becomes our way of seeing, revealing blessings already here and those unfolding now. We affirm that life is for us, that good is seeking us, and that we are anchored in a presence that is always enough. With thankful hearts, we say yes to this day, yes to our growth, and yes to the divine good within and around us. And so it is. And so, take a long, slow breath in and let it soften out. Allow your shoulders to relax and your jaw to loosen, your hands to rest easily wherever they are. Let your whole body know it is safe to be here. It is safe to be still. As you breathe, imagine a quiet light at the center of your being, warm, steady, and alive. This is the presence that has always been with you, the love that fills every moment, the source from which all blessings flow. With each inhale, feel yourself drawing closer to this inner light. With each exhale, feel any tension or worry dissolving into a wider peace. Now, gently bring one simple thing to mind that you are grateful for today. It doesn't have to be grand. It may be a smile you received, a moment of clarity, a warm meal, or simply the breath moving in your body. Let that feeling of appreciation grow. Let it fill your chest, your heart, your entire being. Feel gratitude as a soft expansion, an opening that reminds you of how supported you truly are. Now imagine extending that gratitude outward. First, to people in your life, those who uplift you, teach you, challenge you, love you. Silently offer them your blessing. May you be guided. May you be nourished. May you be at peace. Then let your gratitude widen to include this community, everyone gathered here today. Recognize the shared intention, the spiritual bond, the collective uplift that happens whenever hearts open together. Give thanks for this circle of light, this spiritual family. And finally, allow your gratitude to stretch even further to the opportunities unfolding in your life, the possibilities not yet seen, to the highest good that is already on its way. Feel yourself held in infinite field of good. Feel gratitude, not as something you do, but as something you are, a natural expression of your divine nature. Take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, affirm silently or aloud if you want, I am grateful. I am blessed. I am open to the good that unfolds through me. I'll do that one again. I am grateful. I am blessed. I am open to the good that unfolds through me. When you're ready, gently bring your awareness back to this moment, carrying with you the quiet glow of gratitude and the knowing that all is well. And so it is.
Please sing along at the meditation song, Inside to Find My God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God. I'll go inside to find my God.
That was really beautiful, and thank you, Reverend Ron. I feel like the end of the Grinch story when his heart expands really big. That's how I feel at the end of your talk. I feel like my heart has grown so big. And so now is the time we go ahead and give our tithes and offerings. And there's many ways to give, and they're in your program and up on the board. And so we're going to take a moment and bless our offerings. So go ahead and hold your gift or intention and join us in the offertory prayer. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And we say, thank you, God. And now our ushers, Eva and Barb, will come forward to collect the offerings while the music team blesses us with another song.
I just realized I wrote this song exactly 25 years ago.
Wow.
I had a whole book that was my gratitude list in which I wrote every night what I was grateful for. And then, being the songwriter that I am, I decided I'm going to write a letter, a musical letter to God. And this song is called Dear God. Dear God, I thank you for your gifts to me.
I thank you for all your love.
I thank you for the sun shining on us.
And drifting white clouds high above.
I thank you for the wind and the rain
and the morning dew. I thank you for the earth under my feet, and for trees and flowers too.
I thank you for the food that you provide.
And for the water cool and clear. Yes.
I thank you for the car that I can drive.
And the clothes I have to wear.
I thank you for the roof over my head and the work that I can do. I thank you for abundance in my life and for my enjoyments too. Dear God, I thank you for my family.
I thank you for Mom and Dad.
I thank you for the friends along the way.
And all relationships I've had. Thank you.
I thank you for all people that I've met. Sometimes many, sometimes few. And most of all, the thank yous that I give, I am giving for you.
Dear God, I'm so
thankful for you. Thank you.
Yeah. A couple of reminders before we close out the service. I'm happy to invite everybody for hospitality right after the service. Our hospitality team always does a great job of providing snacks for everyone. And if you'd like to have one-on-one confidential prayer after the service, Jeannie and Charlotte will be in the chapel, whether you have an urgent prayer need or would just like to give a prayer of gratitude. And so now let's join together for the peace song.
As we're joining together, I want to thank Tom for being here with us on his beautiful instrument there. Thank you, Tom.
Yes.
We love you, Tom.
Okay.
you.